I'm walking into the precinct, scanning the room for signs of tension or unease, when I notice a young officer, fresh out of training, nervously fidgeting with his badge. His eyes dart between me and the floor, betraying a mix of curiosity and apprehension. I take a seat across from him, making direct eye contact. "You've been on the force for 5 years now." I begin, my tone neutral. "What makes you think you have what it takes to be a good cop?" He hesitates, choosing his words carefully. "I guess it's just, I want to help people." I nod, processing this sentiment. "That's great. But let me ask you something. Do you ever feel like you're living someone else's dream?" His gaze drops, and he shifts uncomfortably in his seat. "You don't have to answer that," I say with a gentle smile. But it's too late. The truth is already seeping out. "It's not that you don't want to be a good cop," I continue, my voice low and even. "It's that you've been conditioned to believe that's what it means to love your job. You're not doing it for the thrill of the chase or the rush of adrenaline. You're doing it because you think that's what's expected of you." The young officer looks like he's been punched in the gut, his eyes wide with shock and realization. "You think you know what it's like to be a law enforcement officer, but trust me, you have no idea. They're not the heroes you see in movies or TV shows. They're human beings with their own set of contradictions. At its core, being an LEO is about sacrifice. They put themselves on the line every day, putting their lives at risk to protect others. But what does that mean for their personal relationships? It's exhausting, plain and simple. They can't take the emotional toll of seeing the worst of humanity, only to come home to a family that doesn't understand what they're going through. They love with a ferocity that's both admirable and terrifying. They pour every ounce of energy into those they care about, but it's a love that's fueled by duty. They want to protect and provide, but in doing so, they often sacrifice their own needs and desires. And when they do show affection, it's not the gentle, loving gestures you'd expect from someone who claims to be in a relationship. No, it's rough, it's raw, and it's all-consuming. They love with a passion that borders on obsession, and it can be both beautiful and suffocating. You see, LEOs are often expected to be the rock, the steady presence that everyone else relies on. But what about when they're the ones who need to be held? What about when they're the ones who are breaking down under the weight of their own expectations? Society wants to believe that LEOs have it all together, but the truth is, they're just as broken and flawed as the rest of us. And when you look at them with new eyes, you'll see a love that's both beautiful and heartbreaking. You think you know what it means to be in law enforcement, but do you truly understand the depths of their devotion? The breaking point for many officers is when they're forced to make a life or death decision that goes against their moral compass. Imagine being on the scene of a domestic violence call where the mother and father are both armed and refusing to leave the house, with 2 children caught in the middle. The officer's instincts scream at them to protect the innocent, but they know that taking one parent down risks the other becoming violent. This is the breaking point, the weight of responsibility crushing them as they struggle to find a way out without causing more harm. Others may experience this when they're tasked with executing a warrant in a neighborhood where the suspect has ties to local schools and families, knowing that their actions could have long-lasting consequences on innocent lives. As we delve deeper into the psyche of law enforcement officers, it's essential to acknowledge that their love for their work can be a double-edged sword. They are driven by a sense of duty and a desire to serve and protect. But on the other hand, this same drive can lead them down a dark path where they become increasingly invested in their work, often at the expense of their own emotional well-being. They may employ toxic coping strategies such as denial, rationalization, or even outright avoidance to deal with the stresses and traumas that come with the job. They might tell themselves that it's all worth it, that the lives they save and the justice they uphold make up for the losses they've suffered. But this defense mechanism can quickly turn into a toxic cycle where they become numb to their emotions, sacrificing their personal relationships and even their own health in order to maintain a facade of toughness. This is what we call the scorched earth policy, a mindset that views any hint of vulnerability or weakness as a liability, rather than an opportunity for growth and healing. They may push loved ones away, telling themselves that they can't handle it, that they're not good enough, in order to maintain control over their emotions and prevent anyone from seeing them at their most vulnerable. This behavior is not only damaging to those around them, but also to the officers themselves. It's a coping mechanism that prevents them from truly processing their emotions, from acknowledging the trauma they've experienced, and from forming genuine connections with others. As we'll explore further in this series, it's crucial to recognize these toxic patterns and work towards creating a culture of support and understanding within law enforcement communities, where officers can feel safe to open up and share their true feelings without fear of judgment or reprisal. As we've delved into the complex world of law enforcement officers, it's time to acknowledge a crucial aspect of their lives that often goes unspoken: validation. LEOs are trained to put others before themselves, to be strong for those they protect. And yet, this selfless nature can sometimes lead to feelings of inadequacy and unappreciation within their own ranks. The weight of responsibility, the pressure to perform, and the constant exposure to trauma can take a toll on even the most resilient individuals. They hide behind a mask of toughness, but beneath that armor, they're craving recognition and acceptance, validation from those who matter most. This is where we come in. As your guide, I want you to know that their struggles are real, and it's time to break the mold. LEOs deserve more than just respect. They deserve understanding, compassion, and empathy. So, I ask you, are you ready to take a stand alongside these heroes? Are you willing to challenge the status quo and shatter the silence surrounding mental health in law enforcement? If so, then it's time to subscribe to this channel and join the movement. Don't just watch, participate. Comment your sign below, and together, we'll create a ripple effect that will echo through every corner of our society. The question is, are you with me